The Starlight Swing. In a quiet village nestled between silver mountains and sleepy meadows, there was an ancient tree known as the wishing willow. Its long, glowing leaves shimmered at night, and hanging from one of its sturdy branches was a swing made of moon thread and stardust. Legend had it that if two kind-hearted children sat on the swing under the stars, their wishes would come true. In this village lived a gentle girl named Mira. She had curious eyes, curly hair that bounced when she laughed, and a voice as soft as lullabies. Mira loved books, especially ones about stars and magical trees. Not far away, in a house with a wind chime porch, lived a cheerful boy named Eli. Eli loved to build things, hum little tunes, and spend his afternoons collecting shiny pebbles by the stream. Although they had seen each other in school, Mira and Eli had never really spoken. Until one evening, right as the sun was saying goodnight, Mira wandered into the meadow behind the wishing willow, book in hand. She saw the swing for the first time. "Wow," she whispered, walking toward it. At the same moment, Eli popped out from the other side of the tree, holding a pebble that glittered like a mini star. "Oh, you found it too?" he asked, a little surprised. Mira smiled shyly. "I read about this place in an old book. I didn't think it was real." Eli grinned. "It's my favorite spot. I come here to think." They stood for a moment in the soft glow of twilight. "Want to try the swing?" Eli offered. Mira hesitated, then nodded. They sat side by side, and as the swing swayed gently, something magical happened. The stars above twinkled brighter, and the leaves of the wishing willow shimmered like silver fireflies. They both made a wish, but neither said what it was. From that night on, Mira and Eli returned to the wishing willow after dinner. They read stories aloud, made up silly poems, and sometimes just swung quietly, letting the wind whisper their thoughts. As days passed, their friendship blossomed like moonflowers. Eli showed Mira how to skip rocks perfectly. Mira taught Eli the names of constellations. One evening, Mira brought a jar of glowing fireflies. "They look like little stars," Eli said. "They're my favorite," Mira replied. "They remind me of you, bright and happy." Eli's cheeks turned a tiny bit pink. Another night, Eli carved their names into a wooden heart and hung it on one of the lower branches. "So the tree remembers us," he said. Mira gently touched it. "Now we're part of its story." But just as their friendship grew stronger, something changed. Mira's family had to move away to another village across the hills. On their last evening together, she and Eli sat on the swing, both silent for a while. "I wish we didn't have to say goodbye," Eli finally whispered. Mira nodded, holding back a tear. "Me too." They looked up at the stars. "I made the same wish the very first night," Mira said softly, "that I'd find someone who liked the stars and stories like I do." Eli smiled. "And I wished for someone who made me laugh under the moonlight." They sat until the stars blinked sleepily and the fireflies danced their final glow. "Promise we'll come back here one day?" Mira asked. Eli held out his pinky. "I promise." And with a final swing, they said goodbye. Seasons changed. Snow fell, flowers bloomed, and time tiptoed on. But the wishing willow remained, its swing gently swaying with the wind, waiting. 1 year later, on the same date, under the same sleepy stars, Mira returned to the village. She wore a big scarf and carried a small box filled with old stories. She ran to the wishing willow, and there, already on the swing, was Eli, now a little taller, but with the same kind smile. "I hoped you'd come back," he said. "I promised, didn't I?" Mira replied, her eyes bright. They sat on the swing once more. The stars above blinked brighter than ever, and the tree's silver leaves danced like they were singing a quiet song. "I never stopped wishing," Eli said. Mira smiled and opened the box, pulling out a new storybook. "Then let's make more wishes, together." And they did. From that night forward, the wishing willow glowed just a little brighter. The villagers said it was because two hearts had found each other under its branches. But Mira and Eli knew the truth. It wasn't the tree or the stars. It was the magic of a friendship that turned into something soft, sweet, and everlasting. just like a bedtime dream. The end. The end.